This is Ed, and I'm here in San Diego, California. Here it's 9 a.m. And our special guest today is on the other side of the world. It's amazing what we could do here on Zoom. I call it the global meeting room because just like Reynaldo and me, Ed, uh, this is the first time we're meeting, and this is unscripted. It's well organized, but not scripted, which means we'll be careful what we say. But the concept is to introduce ourselves to each other and about what the companies do. And so it's all very positive information. And the distribution of this program in subsequent days and weeks and months after today's recording session is it's public relations for the business, for the industry, and a way for people to talk with one another. So I call it the global meeting room, which is the psych-safe place for business intros and for conversations. The concept is that the conversations could lead to rapport and understanding. And after a while, trust, maybe. And if that happens, if trust happens, perhaps bridge building together. But that's down the road. First things first. So this program I began because COVID crashed into my live conference and meetings business that I started in a long time ago, back in the 90s. And more than 300 meetings I have produced. None in India so far, but in Europe, in Canada, Latin America, all across the US. So beginning in March of 2020, when COVID came in, the live event business poof, stopped. But I had contacts and business relations over the years. And so I sent emails to everybody using LinkedIn as a connection, saying, hey, here's what I'm doing. I'm going to form a meeting place using Zoom, and it's free, no registration fees. Yeah, we'd like you to sign up so we could send you stuff and you can tune in, but subscription is free. Excuse me, to the YouTube channel and also to globalbusinessnews.net. So our YouTube channel is youtube.com/at Global TV Talk Show. And there you see our logo around the world. Okay. So we've been fortunate to have produced and financed more than 1,000 productions since March of 2020. And they're all available free to our subscribers on the YouTube channel. Morning coffee here in California. So I hope you had a good dinner, Reynold.
Um,
Yes?
I'm I'm about to yeah have my dinner after the interview that we will be doing it. So I'm anyway a
Okay.
late person. So yeah, I try to have it towards the later in the night. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So tell me about yourself. How long have you been involved in the relocation management business?
Sure. Thank you so much for inviting me, Edwin.
Yeah.
What a wonderful legacy that you are carrying. I mean, you're doing a fantastic job, and I'm
You're
so
very kind.
thankful that you have invited me from India. Yeah, it's been wonderful. Just to give you a brief introduction about myself, I am Reynold Verghese, and I have been working with Icon Talent Mobility. It's been more than 7 years that I am associated with Icon, and currently I'm in the role of a director. Relocation services, and overall I've got more than 16, 17 years of experience in the global mobility industry, and throughout my career I've been extensively involved in destination services and immigration support. That includes, again, home search, settling in support, client relationship management, acting as a quality manager. So we have a term in ICANN, we say, multiverse, and we try to give, we play different roles in the. Just give me a minute, I'm so sorry. Yeah, so sorry. Sorry for that. Yeah,
No, no
that
problem.
that was my son's phone. Somehow it was kept in my room. I had shut the door, but somehow he left his phone in my room. Yeah, I'm sorry for that. Yeah, so I have been associated with the global mobility industry for more than 16, 17 years, like I said. And yes, it's been a wonderful journey, meeting so many people across the geographies. I had been to Eura in last week of April. It was such a wonderful exposure, meeting different clients, partners. It is a different world altogether. Yeah. So
So
yeah.
I've been to Europe also in the past, and they do a wonderful job. They they're so personable, and they bring people together in a non-threatening environment. So I've had the pleasure of having uh, your leadership on the show a couple of years ago,
I think,
and
yeah,
yeah,
Rome,
and
if
yeah, I want very much to have more India on our programs. I know the time difference is crazy, but um, we can work it out. We want to have more voices from the industry be in the global meeting room, bringing people together on pre-agreed topics for comfort and for media prep, of course. So, do you offer, do you provide coaching to the transferee and family to help them settle in, to help them enjoy life in the new environment so that the employee being transferred can focus on work? Because if the family is not happy,
Mhm.
isolated, it's terrible. And the company leadership, the employer, they know that. But are they providing you the support so that you can be more of a ongoing resource for the transferred employee and family?
Okay. To answer that question, Edwin, so there are two facets to it. One is if the company authorizes you for the training, the coaching, the cultural training, and the second aspect is me being their destination service provider. During the orientations, during the home search, we try to impart as much as coaching, as much as information that we can provide. Okay, so from the India perspective, we are still at a very nascent stage in terms of the cultural coaching, for the expats and for the families, for them relocating to India. but there are few companies, which really believes into the, the proper hand holding process, ensuring, the expat is trained in the about the local custom, the do's and don'ts, what, and how they should behave publicly, what I mean, in the sense, the main do's and don'ts of, in India. And the second, like I said, when we do the orientation, we do try to impart as much as knowledge, information about the local city, about the local nuances, and teaching them and updating them, and helping them, to settle down slowly. So yes, from the company perspective, we are at a very nascent stage. But then yes, from our job perspective, we do not. We do a lot of cultural coachings in, through our, partners. But then if you say from, as in the RMCs, the relocation management companies that we support them, we do provide, as and when the request comes to us. But that is on the lower side as compared to the business. If we say about the home search, the relocation, settling in, it's it's like hardly even 10% of what the business we do. Again, not even 10%, per se. But then yes, we have a majority work in the DSP and the immigration side. So that's how it is.
And pardon me, to what extent are you using app, an app on like the phone for enhancing the customer service?
We are a technology driven company, but we do not have an app. We have an ecosystem which is available on the phone. Okay, so when you say ecosystem, so again, we call it as iTrack ecosystem. So one is for the assignment management tool, which we internally use it to track and manage all our assignments. The second part is the I navigate, which we call I navigate, is the link which we give access to the HRs, to the clients, to our assignees, wherein they can see what status, or at what stage a certain program is, you know and we provide a user ID, we provide a password, so they can securely log in. If they have to upload any details, passports, keeping the GDPR, the compliance in mind, they can upload all the information, they can track at what stage they are on, during the program. And then we have got a real estate website. So all of these are linked together, and the overall system we call is iTrack. Okay, so we do not have a specific app, but we do provide a link where they can, they can directly click the link, they will take it to the website, and they can manage everything through the iNavigate system.
Well, that sounds complete, and it sounds like a really good idea. So, to what extent is your business involved with transferring U.S. people into India?
US to India, we do a lot of moves in terms, providing destination services, uh, then immigration support. Very recently, we have picked up the pet relocation business. And pet relocation for the last, I think, 1.5, 2 years, we have been doing tremendously well. We, we have recently done pet moves from US to India, and for which we have got multiple appreciations and testimonials to it. So we do, again, from India outbound as well. We do manage the L1s, the L1A, the L1B. We're not into the H1Bs, but then primarily the L1 visas we have been managing. And from the inbound perspective, we do manage their entire relocation. The top Fortune 500 companies, I think, probably, at least we have supported the top 10 firms in India, where they have, their presence in the country. So we have been supporting them for quite some time.
Yeah, okay. And so where is your largest source of inbound coming from?
Our majority business probably will, I would say, is from the Europeans. Uh, and again, US as well contributes a lot of uh, assignees. Yeah, I mean, a lot of business. We do manage, and very few from the Asian, countries. But then we do support a lot of Japanese. But then Japanese again, they are moving from different parts of the world. Like a lot of, we are supporting few clients in Canada. Again, he or she may be a resident there for quite some time. So we are Japanese again staying in, say, Malaysia. So a lot of movement are happening, across the globe. But then yes, the majority is from US and Europe, and few Japanese as well.
Okay, this is all very interesting information. I hope you find it useful. What I'd like to ask you as we come to a close here on this first initial time together, what would you like to know from me? And what I'd like to do is to help you and the company get more positive public relations across the US and across the world. Uh, we distribute our programs free, no cost, because we want the PR. Okay. And having you on
Yeah,
the program is good for me, is good for us. Okay.
absolutely.
And people want to know about you and about ICANN. And uh, so
I would,
we want you
yeah.
to feel free to use this as a podium for you to talk to my audience, which is worldwide. It's mostly US, but very strong in London.
Wonderful.
London, let me just tell you about our readership, our audience out there. Okay. Excuse me. And pardon me, this is based on Google Analytics, but much better is LinkedIn. We use LinkedIn religiously for many years. And so, according to them, uh, a little bit more than 60% during the past year, 60% of the viewers, our audience, are senior level corporate in companies having more than 1,000 employees worldwide.
Mhm.
30%, so roughly half of all the viewers the past year,
Mhm.
according to LinkedIn, are in senior positions in companies having more than 10,000 employees. So 60%, 1,000 up, and then about half that, 30%, in 10,000 and up. Now, most of the companies are US headquartered, but they have offices in a lot of places. And that's why they move
Mhm.
people around. And uh, so the very largest viewership market is in the eastern US, Canada, meaning Toronto, New York, Boston, down to Washington, down to Atlanta, down to south into Miami, that whole east, Canada, all the way down. Big numbers. The number
Mhm.
two source of audience is London, Metro London. And not only is it because US companies have a London office also, but British companies and other companies are in the London area. And it's a huge market for us.
Mhm.
Now, also as big as Dublin, Ireland, but it spins off of London because Dublin is a back office of London. All
Mhm.
right. So the third largest group of our audience is California. California is a big state, as you know. So it goes for 1,500 miles. So uh, it's huge. So you have San Francisco and Silicon Valley in the north, and LA down to Mexico is where I am in the south. Uh, and very, very large numbers. We have some good numbers in Chicago and some good numbers in Texas, of course. I wanted to give you that so you understand what I'm doing. Now, across Europe, outside of London Metro, the number one other market is Amsterdam and also Germany.
Mhm.
And close to that is Switzerland. Um, so, Geneva, of course, as well as Zurich. Uh, and that's our concentration. And we have a number of companies in India, but just now, only just recently, uh, is direct new relationships coming on the program. And we want to grow that. And it's free registration. We don't want a toll gate. We want audience involvement because when we can prove the audience involvement, then we can attract advertisers who also wants that same audience. And that's our reason of being. Okay. So that's what we're doing. I thank you very much. Tell us a little bit more as we come to a close
Yep. Yep.
about the company. I can. It's been around a
Abs-
long time.
Absolutely. Yes. Icon Talent Mobility has been in the market for more than 30 years now. So we are one of the pioneers of destination services in the country. And again, the icing on the cake again, or the best part is we have won the maximum number of awards globally, which I'm sure, which I mean, our numbers, I mean, if you count in the past 10 years itself, I mean, we have won approximately, 48, 49 awards, which makes us again
Way
one
to
of the,
go. That's terrific.
and yes, and of which all of us are very proud. Every icon employee, being a part of such a prestigious organization is, gives a lot of, support and a lot of advantage when we speak to our clients. It gives a lot, people know us, there's a legacy behind, being such a wonderful, company. In terms of our services, the solutions that we provide is, one is the destination services that includes the orientation, home searches, settling in, the cultural trainings. Then the other, the main services would be the visa and immigration, where take care of the India inbound immigration, the global immigration. The other vertical that we manage is the move management. We have the personal household goods, the office infrastructure, the art logistics, and again, very recently, our a pet relocation that we have been started. I think around we're close to 2 years, and we have done a fantastic job. That the team is so collaborative and so strong. It we didn't expect it, but then we are getting huge responses on pet relocation. The other business that we manage is the corporate housing. Again, corporate housing, has we have been supporting all the RMCs. We have got more than 6,000 properties in the India subcontinent itself. Our reach is, one of the best. We give the best rates, unlike, where the RMCs, they have to reach out to different destination service providers, wherein, they all add add up their margin, and by the time it reaches the client, the cost is very high. But then that's the but then we promote as we are the one-stop shop. We are directly in touch with the hotels, unlike other companies where they add up the margins. So it's like removal of the middlemen from the system. We give the direct rates and the best rates that's possible. We also help companies in mobility, policy counseling. It's a bespoke policy planning, domestic mobility policy, global mobility policy. Depends. We have provided and we have expertise, and supporting clients. The other is, one of the services is employer on records, taking the employee, someone who wants to establish that business in the country, but if they do not have their own office, we do support them, with the payroll, taxation, compliance, acting as an employer for their employee. They'll be in our roles, but then we do provide that support as well. And yes, I mean, that's the major solutions that I can provide to their clients.
Thank you. And what about sending people from India into US and other places?
Like I said, we that comes as a part of our visa and immigration support. We do manage a lot of L1 in terms of the immigration front. We do also manage a lot of people who are relocating, the Indians who is going to US for the first time. If the company has given us the authorization, we do provide a cultural training for them, ensuring that by the time they reach and settle there, they have some information. Because we have seen a lot of people who are traveling now, they are very youngsters, and probably they have not even stepped outside the country. Going to US is a totally different ball game. So we do try to coach them, just give them a brief and small cultural training, and the do's and don'ts again. Yeah, I mean, we have a specialized trainers, and we do manage those things, those stuff.
And I assume that you guys are very involved with Dubai area.
Yes, Dubai, Qatar. So we manage the India subcontinent, and not directly Dubai, but Qatar is one of the destinations that we provide support to a lot of assignees. So our reach are directly, we have been supporting assignees in Pakistan, in Nepal, in Bangladesh, in Sri Lanka. So the India subcontinent, we cover majority of the destinations.
Yeah,
So not majorly Dubai, but then we do manage Qatar primarily.
got it. Yeah, well, they're huge. Yes. So tell me, as we come to a close here now, are you involved in Africa? It's such a big place.
Africa, yes, we have our partners. Recently we have started working with one of the companies who have been sending a lot of employees to India, from South Africa, Brazil, and few other locations. We are managing a lot of their visa and immigration support system. But then, yes, I mean, destination services slowly, once in fact, we have just recently started, almost like 3-4 months ago. So it's a very new association, but then we see a lot of promise in that association, and we are we see a long relationship with our partner.
Yeah, yeah. Recently, I produced a show with Renee Stegman and colleagues from Africa, GMA, Global Mobility, it's Africa Global Mobility, just starting out. Seems like a very exciting promise.
Oh, that's wonderful. Mm.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you. Please come back, and I'll send you the program later in my day today, your tomorrow.
Thank you so much for inviting me. It was wonderful talking to you,
I loved
and
it. Thank you.
thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Peace. Let's do it
Love
again.
it. Yeah.
Okay, this is Ed signing off. We welcome your feedback. Here's my direct email. editor, this is all one word, editor Global Business News, editor Global Business News, all one word, at gmail.com. Gets right to me. Okay. Ciao.